As I'm sure most of you are aware by now, I just recently finished my playthrough of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, a game that I hold to be the single best role-playing game ever produced. From its atmosphere, to its music, to its riveting storyline, to its incredible characters, and all of it coming together to form a magical experience somehow even greater than its already excellent component parts. And just as I finished it, I was made aware of a recent devlog to the upcoming sequel featuring NPC characters like this. This is an NPC in the upcoming Bloodlines 2. She is an old, used-up whore. I find it difficult to explain to anyone who hasn't been paying attention for the last 10 odd years how we have gone from Jeanette to old, used up, actively repulsively designed whore. It is a mystery that can only be described as active demoralization, as an intentional, legitimate attempt to destroy something, to damage your experience of playing a game. It is the only conceivable explanation for something like this. And let me go a little bit back here as well, because of course, Bloodlines has some amazing characters, some fantastic characters. In fact, I would argue that the characters themselves are the best part of a game that is overflowing with incredible quality, okay? Each of the characters are interesting, they are charismatic, they are deeply intriguing and fascinating, and they bring you deeper into the world of darkness in a variety of ways. Pisha, for example, does so by giving you a valuable lesson that you are a monster in this world. You are not some random passerby, you are not the hero of this story, you are a vampire. And things like you eat people. Things like you torture people to death for nothing more than shits and giggles. In any other game, Pisha would be the monster at the end of the dungeon. In Vampire, she invites you for dinner. Simple as. She's a fantastic character. Or Jeanette has one of the best storylines in gaming, straight up, with one of the best twists as well. Or Heather. Here, made a bit more attractive in her true vampire self, the way her story should end. But Heather as well. See, here's the thing. There are characters on the character creation here from the second game that look mildly appealing, that at least look like just your average regular girl, right? And there is a point to that. Heather was not intended to be a bombshell, to be particularly sexy or attractive. She wasn't intended to grab your eye immediately. She was supposed to be some random passerby, some strange girl you find bleeding to death in a hospital. And if you don't save her, nothing will really change. She's not important. She's just some random human, that's it. But if you do save her, she becomes probably the single most impactful character in the entire game. For reasons I shan't spoil here. But Heather is a fantastic character, but even her design as not obviously appealing, and she's not unappealing either, is intended as a part of a larger story. Somehow, I doubt ugly whore prostitute is part of that, or this random, unappealing mouse-ish character, hunched over, uninteresting, covering up, like, oh, you shouldn't look too closely at me, I'm just some NPC, or this butch old black chick. Now, I know that this isn't something that's been forgotten, by the way. See, The reason why we make characters like Jeanette is for a very simple reason. It's for game design reasons. When you have a video game, a sprawling big world filled with things to do, all of it is competing for the player's attention. Actually getting the player intrigued and interested in anything is actually kind of hard. You need to have a good hook, somebody that gets them interested, makes them willing to spend the next 5-10 minutes going through their dialogue trees, learning their stories, and actually caring about them. The easiest way to do that is to make them hot. Simply because we see hot woman, our brain goes, hey, I am immediately more charitably disposed towards you, because that's how our brains work. Seeing attractive people literally dumps endorphins into our systems. It is simply how we are programmed, and so it is a cheap and simple trick to get you invested in characters and in their story. This does not do that. This does not do that. This does not do this. This does not do that. And this, far from getting me invested, the only thing I think upon seeing this is, I wonder if she's an essential NPC. Chick chick. I'll best find out. Yeah, and here's the thing as well. Even assuming, let's give them the benefit of the doubt here for a second, even though I do not believe it for one instance that they're going to be able to pull it off, but let's assume that this character's story is just incredible. The equal of Heather's or Pisha's or Vivi's or any of her other characters, right? Why should I care? At least Heather was bleeding to death upon finding her. She was immediately interesting simply because she was dying and I could save her. That was the hook. This is just some chick, some unappealing NPC whom, if I was to pass this chick on the street in the game, how would I even know I'm supposed to address her? At least this character looks important from having a sign on her chest and being armed, at least, and this one for looking gothic, but this chick? NPC number 4. Oh, this one here. This is the paramedic that arrives after I've killed someone on the street, surely. She's not an important character, right? Why would she be? Or this guy, Mr. Hunched Over Man. By the way, every one of the male characters have this weak, subservient, beta hunched over posture. This guy too, by the way, is a walking masquerade violation. He knows you're a vampire. He knows about kindred society, but you don't have to deal with him and you're not punished because he knows about masquerade. Why? Because he's dumb. Literally, that's the excuse. He's retarded. And so nobody cares. Oh my God. And my favorite, this guy. Obviously, this is supposed to be some kind of tough guy biker, right? Wearing the leather cut, wearing the outfit, etc. And he looks like a middle-aged woman whom somebody taped a mop to his face. All of these characters look either studiously, actively repulsive, or antagonistically weak and effete, or even, the best of the bunch, simply just unnoteworthy. Somebody you'd miss if you walked right past them. This is not character design, the primary purpose of which is to create a character you wish to interact with. This is demoralization propaganda. Straight up, honestly, I can find no other reason why you would make a character like this other than to actively reduce the player's enjoyment of the video game. There is no, even assuming they have a fantastic story for this character, you've still lost out on the appealing point. Vampire the Masquerade had incredible looking characters with incredible looking storylines. Even if you somehow managed to nail one out of the two, I'd like to ask you why you ignored the first one, to the point of even taking characters like Damsel from the original game and actively up-uglifying them. Is this supposed to be some sort of tortured metaphor? The world of darkness is a terrible place. Look at this brutish-looking whore. No, that is supposed to be communicated by, I don't know, a side quest where an orthopedist comes at you with a severed limb that he's recently cut off a tortured human being, or being sent to fetch snuff tapes because a Zimish has moved into the neighborhood and started making furniture out of the locals. But no, we simply take damsel, who for all her brain-damaged lunacy of communism is a cool and attractive chick, to... I wonder if she's an essential NPC too. Bloodlines 2 is going to be a remarkable failure, especially considering its pedigree. And all I can truly hope at this point is that it will be a Concord-level flop, a stick so enormous that we can beat even Paradox with, a company famous for actively releasing DLC they know to not only be broken, but to break the entirety of the rest of the video game. Paradox needs no regular stick. It needs a two-handed bat to the back of the head, delivered repeatedly with intent and passion. And perhaps, if such a stick does exist, perhaps we are looking at it right now. Bloodlines 2. Jesus. Until next time, I have been Arch. Thank you all for watching, and I do hope to see you all again soon. Till then, have a good day.